Hi, I'm Brigham, and I'm going to walk you through the Altitude hoodie. The Altitude is meant to be a standalone warm weather hiking shirt that's versatile enough to use year-round in all conditions as a next to skin layer. And the ultimate goal with this piece is next to nothing comfort. So to do that with the Altitude hoodie, starting at the top, we wanted a very close-fitting hood that moves with our head when we look left and right, up and down, something that's going to stay put without feeling restrictive or constricting, and introducing any kind of discomfort. So it's fairly form-fitting and articulated for the general shape of the head, without this opening area really pushing against the skin. Moving down, we've got about a 2-inch, what I would call collar height here. And the reasoning for that is so when the hood is pulled up, it's not meant to pull right up against the chin. That would just be a little bit too hot, considering this is more of a warm weather piece, and also a little bit restrictive. But what it does do is we found that this collar height here, when it's up, it protects the bottom of the neck, and when it's down, it stays above the kind of that part of the bottom of the neck and the collarbone that doesn't often see a lot of the sun and is more prone to sunburn. So we found this is a really good balance to have the collar come up about 2 inches from the neckline here. I will point out that we use a very specific flat lock seam everywhere on the Altitude, and that is to have as low profile as possible, which aids in comfort and prevents discomfort, chafing, rubbing, and hot spots. Throughout every seam on the Altitude hoodie, we use a stretch thread, again for comfort, mobility, and minimizing restriction. Moving down to the shoulder area, we use this modified raglan sleeve or an off-shoulder seam. Again, we're backpackers. We want to be wearing this with a backpack, and we want to eliminate hot spots that may occur from shoulder straps pushing down on these seams. Even though they're a very low profile seam, we want maximum comfort. This type of sleeve arrangement called a raglan sleeve, it really lends itself well to like range of motion and mobility. Moving down, we'll kind of talk about the overall fit. We want this piece to fit close and athletically so that it's efficient in terms of not having excess fabric that's going to create drag from wind, add extra weight to the piece itself. So we want a close-fitting, athletic, streamlined fit. And what that does for performance is the closer the fabric fits and the more contact the fabric makes with our skin, the more efficiently it absorbs water, wicks it away, dissipates it to the atmosphere. In short, it manages moisture better when it fits close to the skin. So you'll notice that the sleeves are streamlined, fairly close-fitting down to the wrist cuff. The rear hem, so the back of the shirt, is a couple inches lower than the front. That's just to aid in a little bit of protection, so when we're bending over or making large articulated steps that we maintain coverage over our bodies. That pretty much sums up the kind of the main overall design and fit of the Altitude hoodie. Now, we do use an incredibly lightweight fabric that is knit in a specific way so that it has specific spaces or voids throughout the fabric to allow heat and moisture to wick away and evaporate away from our bodies. In hot weather, that process allows us to cool off faster, and in cold weather, that process prevents us from getting too cold from moisture against our skin. One other thing we added to the fabric with the Altitude is an antimicrobial treatment that is permanent. It's not going to wash out. It is 100% chemical free and PFC free and very clean, and it results in no kind of negative byproduct in terms of waste, and it is a very efficient, it's very efficient at eliminating bacteria, which is the main source of odor. So this is a silver mineral that's applied and permanently embedded within the fabric. And so that's just one more kind of fabric feature that we've included with the Altitude to accomplish its mission or its goal of being ultimately comfortable. Because if it fits well, it's unrestrictive, and it manages moisture and dries out quickly, all of those things lend to comfort day in and day out, mile after mile. We also have the Altitude in a short sleeve and a long sleeve crew neck tee. If you want more information on any of these pieces, check out outdoorvitals.com.